team fight power and potentially pushing power, because currently the lineup is a little bit lacking in that regard.
Now we see that Razor being picked up for MKD3. Very strong pickup. It's going to work wonders against Viper, because Viper is going to be wanting to stay around these long extended fights. MKD3, they've noticed what DA's trying to do, and so they're picking heroes that can counteract it, and Razor's one of those fantastic heroes. He wants to stay in the fight as long as possible. He wants to absorb as much damage as he can, and then he's just going to turn it around on these heroes. So I really like this Razor pickup. It also offers a little bit of AoE to complement the rest of the AoE on their team from the Wind Runner's power shot, Venomancer's extended dots on the side, and Lion's burst. So MKD3, they have everything they need. They have little bits of all sections, but one little problem: if they don't get roaming at the start and DA can start tanking up, then it could be a little bit of an issue. But Lion and Venomancer, it doesn't look like these heroes will want to give that opening to DA and will go on the aggressive, and there we see that Luna being picked up for DA.
Yeah, a great choice there in my opinion. I mean, Razor, yeah, from MKD3, are very powerful, and the thing with Razor is the static link is amazing, but it does take a little while, and Razor's not the tankiest of heroes. So let's have to be a little bit careful, but, you know, Defenstrative Apocalypse, I think I finally pronounced that right. Once they, Once they get the levels on some of these key heroes such as Nexus Assassin and Clockwork, they can really start moving around, creating ganks and trying to absolutely decimate the side of MKD3.
And to introduce the teams, for DA, we do have Anachromatic on that Nyx Assassin. You've got Burner will be on that Luna. Out of Control will be Ran on that Viper. Zodius on the Clockwork. And finally, but not least, Sydney will be Ran on that Visage.
And for the side of MKD3, we do have their captain, or at least their drafter, I believe. It's II Marco. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. On that Wind Ranger or Wind Runner, Dio is sitting on the mid Razor. We do have Kitari and Projects up in the top lane. Kitari playing on the Lifestealer and Projects on the line. And last but not least, we do have Kamani on the Venomancer, still sitting in base actually.
And DA, they're looking a little bit aggressive here. They almost found out Projects, and that could have been a big problem if they found that early first blood, especially if they could have grabbed it onto Burner being played on the cylinder. But now they're just going to rotate out. They've put their wards down. They're going to be watching any quick rotations, and now they're just going to fall back to their lanes. And it looks like there will be an aggressive tri-lane come out from DA. They probably presumed that MKD3 wanted to run an aggressive of their own with that Lion and Venomancer, but it's not going to be the case. They're going to rotate up top, and we're going to see some tri-lane on tri-lane action, something you don't see often these days as the dual lane strategies have become very prominent.
Yeah, and this will be quite interesting. I think DA maybe have the earlier advantage of this just because they get a little bit more burst, and they've got the nice stun from Nexus Assassin. Soul Assumption hasn't been picked up yet though, so it doesn't look like it might be. Oh, it might be a bit tricky to get to level 1. I actually would have liked this ward from DA to be a little bit more on the right, just to have a little bit of extra vision when the creeps and when heroes walk into the lane. This is also a nice ward from MKD3 here, just on that camp. Gives them a nice bit of vision as well.
And it stops any pull. I mean, if they get one pull off, they're not getting any consecutive pulls as that ward's going to block it off. So it just gives MKD just a little bit more control. I would like to see him possibly go on stacks, getting some extra farm out of that jungle is what you want, especially in that safe lane, tri-lane. But it looks like they're just sitting here making sure nothing's going to happen to the Lifestealer. The line is going back to have a little look at that creep camp to see what he's going to do about it. They may have presumed it to be water, and they're going to check it out now, and they will see it's not water, and they might try to do some pulling later on. And over in mid lane, you do have a lot of domination actually coming out of control. He's sitting 3 kills higher from the first wave, so he almost completely cleaned up that first creep wave, and doing a little bit of harassment to Dio, push him out of the lane, and he's been able to get those last hits quite easily. He is going for 1 point and everything, which is your usual way for your first 3 points, so if anyone's attacking you, they do get slowed and you can keep up with them, and then your damage. We should see a max out coming from that poison auto attack.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite powerful, and it will keep Dio out of that lane. And in the bottom lane, though, we do have Clockwork up against Windrunner. Both these heroes should be fine to just get the experience that they want and a little bit of extra gold. I don't think either of them will be shut down. which I think probably works out a little bit better for DA just because you do want that clockwork to hit the level 6 as soon as possible. The hook shot really can cause... Oh, it looks like in top we got an engagement.
And they do pick up the first one. Gale does land onto Sydney. Sydney's going to try and keep up. They're trying to do as much damage. They do not have any follow-up stunts, but First Blood going to the Visage. He'll be able to pick up an early Courier. Some more wards they do require, but now he's got boots, so there's no way you're running from Visage unless you land a Gale and 3 heroes.
Yeah, even with that Grave Shield there, that's a very powerful slow in itself, so... Yeah, this is it's a great pick-off here from MKD3 as their first, and particularly on the... Actually, was that? Yeah, it was on the Lifestealer too, so that's actually an excellent pick-off.
And that's going to hurt his farm. I mean, he's only got 2 creep kills to his name. That hurts. He's not been able to get much XP because he has been shouted around a little bit. I mean, Prodex did leave the lane for a little bit to help give those 2 heroes a little bit more XP. But now he's picking up a few creep kills, but he's so far away. Your Luna is sitting 15 for 4 against this Lifestealer, and that's not what you want in your safe lane. And the pull did go across, but it looks like hopefully Lifestealer, he can pick up these few kills. It would help him very greatly if he can pick them up, and he is able to manage the last hits.
Yeah, I gotta say DA's start so far has been good in pretty much every lane. Clockwork and Windrunner here in the bottom, they're just sitting on equal for equal, which is, you know, to be expected. But out of control in the mid lane, up against Deer on that Razor, he's doing very well. Just continuing with the harassment, making sure to get as many last hits, and it looks like we got an initiation in the mid.
And there's rotation. We got the Impale coming through. A lot of damage. Soul Assumption is there, but not required. The next Assassin will pick it up with that final auto attack. And nice rotation from DA. The top lane's secured. Let's go mid. Let's make sure we win this mid lane even harder and create a snowball on our Viper. And that's what they did. They took out the Razor. Now Razor, he's gonna be hurting.
Yeah, they also picked up the Courier kill there as well, which is a lot of extra early game gold. It's I believe it's 175 to everyone on your team, and that is massive, you know, within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Look at those rich supports. We do have a little bit of rotation coming from MKD3, but they've been spotted out. They're not under the smoke. It would have been nice if Kamani, damn it, I don't know what I was looking at. It would have been nice if they did smoke up and go for the rotation, but instead they walked straight on the ward. They've rotated middle, and at the same time though, they saw the rotation DA, so they're like, well, no one's here to protect the lifesteal, let's go kill him, and they found an easy kill up in that top lane.
Yeah, and this is just DA securing that early, well, this definitely early lead that they have. Next Assassin sitting on level 3, I assume he'll start rotating a little bit more as well to get a few more pickoffs, or just want to get that quick level 6 and then might stay in lane for the experience there as well. But we currently still have MKD3 trying to rotate here in mid. Both Projects and Kamani, they really want to jump on out of control here, but they just don't have the right opportunity at the moment. They've still got a smoke here on the Venomancer, but I mean, out of control. He's now level 6. He's a little bit safe here, and you know, the moment Dio walks in, he'll know that something's up.
I mean, they are under that nighttime vision, but DA, they already know something. Someone's somewhere, and we do have a little bit of rotation from the supports coming from DA. They're coming bottom. They're going to win this lane too, unless iMarco can pull off some great jukes. So they're going to be starting rotating around. They've got a ward down. Make sure this Clockwork's safe. Windrunner, you're in a little bit of trouble here. We do have Clockwork. He's running on in. They might suspect something up. They throw off that rocket barrage. He's going to be running. Can they get the stun off? They're blocking him. They're blocking him. They get the stun. Now they're going to run in. Cogs are coming out. iMarco, you are one dead Windrunner, sir. And there we go. Clockwork does pick up that kill. And now DA, they officially win all 3 lanes thanks to great rotation coming from these supports.
Yeah, I'd just like to mention something quickly. This ward that's in the top jungle area, Nyx Assassin actually stood just behind that single tree and teleported to bottom, so they had no idea about that teleport incoming. That was, I'm pretty sure they didn't know about that ward that exists there, or maybe they did, but that was just really, really good for DA.
Yeah, that a little bit unfortunate for MKD3 as well, but Lifesteal, he's now getting a little bit of farm now. He's had this space to farm. He's got up to 17 kills. He's trying to catch up as much as possible. However, that Luna Gale, whiffing into the middle of nowhere. No idea where that's going. The Furia has respawned. It's instantly upgraded to that fine. And now that should help out Rage a little bit more if he wants to bot across this middle. But lifesteal, he's trying to catch back up. He is just going for those phase splits. There's no way, no chance that he's going to be able to pick up that minus and go for that minus rate. You see a lot of lifestealers like to pick up. So he's going to have to pick up these cheap, cost-efficient mid-game items if he wants to keep up with this Luna. Maybe go for those drums. He needs to pick up an armlet. Not as soon as possible. A drum's given nice effective stats and movement speed would be great. But he needs cost-efficient items. He can't go for any of these big, hard-hitting items at the start of the game.
Yeah, I do agree. Getting an armlet at this point, considering how well, or I should say how the farm has been going for him so far, probably not the best choice. And
down on bottom, there's a hook shot. It lands on eye marker. He's blocking him. Shackle, not going to be enough. And we will see the slow substitute coming out. So great blocking coming out by Zodius. And now top lane, we do have an Impale coming out into Kitari. Kitari's on the run, he hits a Lucid Beam to the face, he's taking a lot of auto attacks. And can they find the final two? They chasing him down, they have the movement speed. Will they go underneath the tower? They're just thinking about it, but they will not go any further. They had the movement speed, but just nice little use of Fog of War there to try and keep himself out of that auto attack distance.
Yeah, and I just want to mention something. At this point in the game where you've got the Clockwork at level, what's he now, 8? Yeah, level 8. Even if the Windrunner was sitting on equal no deaths and stuff, the Clockwork is still in a better position. Clockwork against Windrunner, the Windrunner is very little. Once you get the hookshot in, the cogs, you can just pop your battery assault and you're still doing damage. You can't dodge that, so it's quite powerful. And now we might even see Exodius on that Clockwork start roaming a little bit. He's going for a
double damage.
Blade Mail, that's the one. Blade Mail first.
Man, I'm not sure how. I don't agree with that personally. I mean, you don't necessarily have that life pool to support the Blade Mail return. Maybe picking up that very early Agnum Scepter by having that lane to yourself would have been quite efficient, especially having that hook shot down to 12 seconds, being able to jump on in. A lot of health, mana as well on top of that would have been superb. Maybe even a 4th staff to give your team a little bit more mobility if a gale lands or you get stunned outright. But they feel pick up that Blade Mail just to negate any chance of them attacking them once they're in the cogs, and we do have TP squad. We might see a fight underneath this tier 1 in mid tower.
Yeah, I don't mind the Blade Mail too much. It does mean that he's... Oh, just misses there. It does mean that whenever he hook shots in cogs, that the enemy are going to be very careful in attacking him. And even if he does die, he's still going to deal a ton of damage to the enemy. So I don't mind it too much. It is obvious here that Exodius is going to be the main initiator and not Anachromatic there on the next assassin. So I don't mind it a lot. But as you said, yeah, that Aghanim's is also very viable, and the short cooldown hook shot would have been amazing as well.
And well, MKD3, they're a little bit confused at the moment. They want to go bottom to try and stop this Luna, but Luna, she is in probably no place to die at the moment. She's picked up a little bit of lifesteal, so she's not going for that early BKB rush, which is a little bit questionable, but at the same time, you've got all the space to farm, you've got 2 assists, and your team is up 5-0, so why not go for a little bit of more of these exotic items that will just help you out throughout the entire game. But they rotated bottom. They're now, once again, they're not necessarily getting farmed from all the places. We do have a smoke up top. They're looking to find the kill on this Venomancer. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. We have the Soul Assumption. Impale soon to follow. And we should have one dead K-Mani. And Visage does once again pick up that kill. I don't think I don't think Out of Control picked up an assist for that. So he's going to miss out. But he will pick up the XP and gold.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under
I mean,
attack.
this is basically there just as a number. I mean, you still get the experience and the gold there, which is what you're really looking for. And Luna just moving into the jungle a little bit here as well, which is not a bad idea. They currently see that they don't really have too much vision of the enemy at the moment, of exactly where they are. They know that eye marker on the Windrunner is in mid, but you know, you don't want to move into a lane, particularly with a Lion and Razor in there by yourself. Especially since you're doing this well on Luna, you don't want to, lose that lead.
One thing I'd like to see at MKD3 is try and pick a strategy and stick with it at the moment. They're rotating around the map because they're not sure what they're doing. They've been put out of their comfort zone. DA, you've already got Burner, he's looking down the bottom lane to run it on in on this project. He's running, he's not going to be able to chase him down, he's going to get back to his tower. He might throw out a Lucent Beam just to be a little bit of a pain, and a hookshot comes flying on in, lands underneath the tower. Lucent Beam and the Eclipse, they will find a double kill going to Exodus down underneath the tier 1, and at top lane, they've got to be a little bit careful. 3 heroes from MKD3, rotating Shackle, lands onto Sydney, he's not getting anything off. There comes the Gale, we should see a Visage die. Will they be able to get any turnaround kills? Marker, he's running for his life underneath that windrun. He's going to be able to get on there. Can they find the pickup on Achromatic? He will fall. Now Visage, he should fall shortly after, but Marker, he runs back in and takes a solo assumption to the face. So they get a turnaround, and at least he finds 1 kill before going down.
Yeah, but for me, just still being a little bit annoying. Shame it doesn't have its full stacks of damage. But it was a nice rotation there from MKD3 in top lane. A little bit unfortunate that the windrunner died, but still putting themselves on the board there for actually, where did they get the other kill?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think Razor fell as well, so Razor died down bottom lane, and Windrunner died up at top.
Yeah, alright. That sounds right. So this is good for MKD3 to finally sort of do something a little bit here. The problem is that their supports are very underleveled compared to DA. I mean, currently line is level 3. You want that finger very, very early, so that way you can really start putting the pressure on and pick up some of those kills. Next Assassin level 6 now. He didn't have Vendetta up in that last fight up in top, but he does have it now, and if he doesn't just Vendetta and start ganking things with a Clockwork or even anyone else, I'll be very, very shocked, because currently DA have been very aggressive, and I suspect they'll continue with this aggression. Just currently trying to take out all the tier 1 towers.
And which is great, because they will offer up a lot of map position and make MKD3 even more fearful of their lineup. And now they will go down, pick up tier 1. There is a little bit of rotation. I mean, you're sending your Razor in first for that rotation. I'm not sure how well that is. The Impale lands, he hits a Lucid Beam, hookshot comes flying on in. Dio, you are gone. So he will now fall. And they should easily clean up this tier 1 tower. There's not too much they can do once they've lost their Razor. Lifestealer, he's not going to want to join this fight. He will push that top tower by himself. And will they use the glyph though? The glyph will be up very shortly in 5 seconds. I don't think they should though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't think they can really push this back at the moment with only a Windrunner and a Venomancer here. It will be another tier 1
Dire's
tower for them.
bottom tower has fallen.
Impaled.
They tower in the top lane though, trying to do a little bit of damage, but he won't be able to get a tower of his own. He does have his armor now though, which is a good pickup for him.
Radiant's top
And a lot of
tower
damage
is
coming down
under
K Marty. Down bottom lane, he does fall to Visage's Soul Assumption. Once again, Soul Assumption is carry assumption, and he sits on 6 for 1. He's got a lot of damage underneath his spells. He's picked up a point booster. That is 1 rich support.
Yeah, these guys are basically rolling in money at the moment.
Now we do have a little bit of
he's
rotation.
got more.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say he's got like almost more gold by himself on net worth compared to the 2 supports of MKD3.
And he does able to get on out of there. Very, very lucky. You heard something go off at the end there, but he did get out of there. The rage just was enough to hold on. It was only a 5-second rage, so he was able to get on out of there. And luckily he had that TP on him. Some lifestealers, they don't like to carry TP on them, and that can be the bane and the death of them. But this time, he is able to escape death and be able to keep in this game for his side. I mean, if you do have a little look at that net worth graph, he's sitting 4th, but he can still pull back into this game. I mean, it's a lifesteal. You've got your own personal BKB, and now we might be seeing a little bit of a fight coming into the dire jungle. Both sides are walking into a jungle. Rocket Flare comes on out. They're seeing each other. It is nighttime vision, so only one side knows exactly what's going on here. We do have a Windrun. She's trying to avoid any kind of impale. He's going underneath the tower. They've found him. Marker, you are now dead. The venomous Poison Nova is not going to land. A hookshot lands onto Project. He will fall. There's the barbed armor up and running on Blade Mail. We do have Razor trying to do whatever he can. That's 3 heroes down. Will Dio be able to make it out of there? He will. So that's still 3 heroes. Soul Assumption actually will find Dio. He does not. He did pop that salve. Lifesteal turns around. Does find a kill on that Visage. So it's a 3-for-1 trade, but definitely a trade in favor of DA.
Yeah, that's And they're just gonna keep putting this aggression on, and it's gonna be hard for MKD3 to do anything about it. They don't have the team fight at this point.
Dire's top tower is
They're
under
too far back
attack.
in terms of levels for that. Their carry is not getting enough. Every time he moves into a different lane, there's going to be a rotation to try and gank him and ensure that he basically can't get his next big items. He does have the armor, as I mentioned before, but at this point in the game, it might not really matter, considering that currently DA there's the mecha again, which is currently on the Viper. Oh, and we got an
And
initiation there.
Still, he wants to find stuff. He wants to try and find an opening, but he's got to be careful. He's used a lot of mana. He can only use enough mana next initiation for his rage and his open wounds. It will regen a little bit. Hopefully, he can get that back in time for his lifesteal infest, which, once again, no one on their side can help out that lifesteal for any infest bombs. It was directly a counter pick to DA's lineup, but DA have still been able to fight this round. So they've got a lifesteal that can't really use anyone to help him out effectively, so he has to try and get in these initiations by himself. He has to walk on in, and if he wants to try and walk on in, DA, they have a lot of ways to slow him down, especially one, just being that clockwork, being able to cogs up and just ruin the mobility and the pathing of that lifesteal. So it's hard for MKD3. They need to pick up possibly a force off and force off your lifesteal into these fights so he can get in there a little bit earlier. Otherwise, lifesteal is just going to have a hard time. It's going to be consistently kited.
Yeah, and there we go again. There is a rotation there in bottom, and he just had to bail. Anachromatic, unable to get there quick enough to stop him. But I gotta say now, Luna's picked up the BKB. I can't see her dying in any of these team fights. They still have the of course they still have the mechanism up on their side as well. It's just at this point they can just take tier 2 towers with very little risk, unless the engagement is really awkward for them. I can't see them losing these sort of team fights. And I'm not really sure what MKD3 can do. Lifesteal's obviously just trying to find as much farm as he can. But if these tier 2 towers just keep falling like that, it's not going to be long before MKD3 are going to have to call the GG. They really need to start creating some plays here.
And they're losing a lot, but one of the lucky things is Razor can still always damage just from that static link. However, he did not decide to max the static link, which is a little bit questionable. I mean, may have picked that up so he can try and clean those creep waves out because they've been under a lot of tower pressure. But that static link is just so strong in these extended engagements, which both sides are about, and they're just not being able to keep up in these fights, MKD3. And now that's one more tower down. They've rotated middle. They're going to find the mid-tier 2 tower. And as you said, it's not going to be long before all these towers are down. And DA, they'll have the entire map to themselves. But luckily, Lifesteal, he will be able to pick up the first tower kill of the game for MKD3.
Yeah, I don't think DA mind too much. It is the top tower, and they're just going to go for the mid-tier tier 2 instead. Luna's not there with him though, which is...
Looks like comes flying on in, it lands onto the line, he will get hit with the Gale, come out into the Clockwork's not going to go anywhere else, Poisonous Nova comes, it lands onto 4 heroes, will it be enough? Marco's taking a lot of damage, a lot of poison, he throws out the dust, but he will fall, double kill, once again, go into that carry assumption of that Visage, and that's 3 heroes for the price of none.
Yeah, that wasn't even with Luna there. This is this arm from DA, very powerful. Yeah, there's quite a bit of lockdown, a lot of damage that just gets burst down very quickly as well, particularly with that soul assumption. But they also have a lot of sustainability in those fights as well, which is they've got a really good mix with this lineup, I feel. And it's just the Clockworks, I gotta say, from Exodius so far have been really phenomenal. I think he's only missed one from memory, but doesn't matter. They are going to pick up another tier 2 tower. Let's just look at that gold earned graph, and we've got 15k gold advantage currently for DA, and about 12k experience in their favor as well.
And Lifesteal, he's going for his next big item. He's almost got his Skull Bash up and running. He just needs to pick up another Javelin, and he will have that And now, not Javelin. But anyway, in mid lane, they're going out of control. Out of control, taking a lot of damage. Will they be able to find that kill? They need it. He pops a mechanism. Vendetta, Nyx Assassin, he rows into the back line. He hits Eye Marker. Impale onto 3 heroes. Hookshot comes in. Cloaks, they're trapped. They're falling down, and they will find 2 heroes dead. No one's still dead on the side of DA. And there we go. That's a 4-hero turnaround. They look like they had the advantage, but the survivability of DA is too strong, and they managed to find a turnaround. 4 kills, and I can't really see MKD3 doing anything else after that fight. I mean, they had a nice initiation, they had nice chain stuns, but mechanism and tankiness was just too much.
Yeah, that was 5v4. I mean, Luna's just basically been pushing by herself, still playing solo game for the past few minutes. If MKD3 are playing 4 vs 5, and as in they've got the 5, and they're losing, that's not too good for them. DA, they know that they can just do whatever they want around the map at this point. Lifestealer, he almost has that Basher as you were saying, but at this point in the game, there's enough lockdown, there's enough ways to slow him down to really reduce that effectiveness.
Especially for Rich Nyx picking up a Blink Dagger. They've got some more initiation on the side and more lockdown, so there's no way you're going to be able to get on out of there. But speaking of this Nyx, what a hero Impale, got behind, hit 4 heroes with his Impale, and well, that spelt disaster for MKD3. There was nothing they could do. Impale landed that clockwork up, 3 heroes inside his cogs, and that was just a burn. But very nice play coming out by this Anchromatic. But once again, I really have to give these supports of DA the props. I mean, their rotations, their positioning, their supports, and the goal they've managed to find from all their heroes they've been killing and assisting. It's just ridiculous. These 2 heroes have set up an absolute dominated victory, and Out of Control was able to take mid by himself pretty solidly in middle, but the supports made sure that they won it. So I really love these 2 supports so far this match.
Yeah, they have certainly been doing amazing. One thing I just like to say though, the pickup of Razor here for MKD3, I feel like it could have worked out really well for them if Razor maybe picked up some tankier items early on. The problem is that he does have that static link, which is great, and in a way he sort of doesn't really need a lot of damage items early, just because you steal enough damage and you've basically got yourself free damage items. But because he's only got under 900 health, he dies so quickly that he isn't really able to dish it.
I agree there. I mean, if one side's going tanky with a lot of damage, you need to go tanky to be able to withstand it. I mean, you have a Venometa and you want to be able to stand in these fights, but you're absolutely right. I really do agree that the Razor should have went for those tanky items, tankier build, and with that static link, not the other way around. But anyway, we have an spiked stun coming out from that line. A little bit of Razor, he's going to get burst down. There's not too much he can do. He's standing there, Eclipses pop. There goes 2 heroes. They're pushing inside the space. Eye Marker will be able to run away. Hookshot comes fine on in. It lands onto the lifesteal. Lifesteal will fall to the damage. And there's 4 heroes down. Can they manage to find any kill at all? Eye Marker is back in base, and this should be a tier 3 tower. Once again, Exodia's surviving on very minimal health. And there's the GGs are called, and DA, they will be taking the first game of Defensive Australians 2014 summer.
Yeah, and remember this is group stages, so MKD3 aren't out of the running yet. Now we do have some more games coming up. We've got about 13 hours of Dota 2 action for you guys today. I believe Omega Kai will be taking over the stream though for his next game. I'm not sure if he's finished up with his first. If you'd like to continue watching me and Yoshi, our next game, which will be at 9 AM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which is in about 10 minutes, will be on Dota TV as well as my Twitch channel. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Zellerif. You can follow Dota Yoshi at youtube.com/DotaYoshi. We also have Twitter accounts. Mine's at ZellerifDota and Dota Yoshi's is at Dota Yoshi. I think I've covered everything.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing anything. Once again, hope to see you all join us for continued casts around the day, and have a good one, guys.
See you in a bit.